Hello everybody, we are going to do a 1-inch grid on your piece of paper. You're going to need 2 of these. So you'll need to draw 2 1-inch grids. The first one will be for this hand assignment. The second one will be for a portrait. Okay, it's important that you start in the top corner. We're just going to say the top left for ease. If you look at your ruler, every one of these is an inch mark where there's a number. You don't want to do centimeters. Those are the smaller ones. The side that says inch, hopefully your ruler says inch on it. Now my ruler, the measurement starts a little bit over from the side, so that's important to note. I'm going to line up this part right here, the first line with the edge of the paper. Then I'm going to lightly make a mark just to the side of each of those numbers where there's a longer line. So these marks will be 1 inch apart from each other. Other thing that's super important when you do this, draw lightly. When you use a grid, now this is a tool, using a grid has been around for centuries. It's just a tool. It's like using a calculator in math. It's okay to do. But you don't want people to know that you're using a grid. So we're going to, as you draw, you're going to erase it as you go. So draw your grid so light that you can barely see it. I'm going to draw mine a little bit darker so it shows up on the screen. But as you draw yours, draw it lightly. If I see any grid when you turn in your assignment, I will dock points. Okay, once again, I'm drawing dark so it shows up. Draw lightly so you barely see it. Now you can see that I made marks every inch across there. I moved my ruler down, did the same thing just a little further down the paper, and that way I can line up my ruler with those marks and draw lines. Now if you're lucky, you have a ruler that's an inch thick. My ruler is an inch thick, and I can just kind of check and make sure I'm getting those lines good. Looks good so far. I find it easier to do the lines going one direction and then turn the paper and do the other lines. I'm going to start in the same top corner and make marks 1 inch apart from each other across the top. Now on a regular sized piece of paper, what's going to happen is you'll get to the 8 and your paper's 8.5 inches wide, so you don't have room. So this last column is going to be a 1/2 inch. That's important to know because when you draw a grid on top of the picture of yourself that you're going to draw, you want to make sure the grid lines up the same way. So you have the 1/2 inch column is on the same side on your portrait. I just drew that little mark in the wrong place. Got to correct that. Now, if this instruction on how to draw a 1 inch grid is not making sense to you, there are hundreds of videos on YouTube on how to do this. Or if my voice bothers you or something, you can look up another one, see if there's something else that works a little better for you. Okay, I've got myself a nice 1 inch grid. Grids are great because they help you get everything in the right place. And I'll talk more about that in the next video, so stay tuned.